My name is Kehinde Adegoke, otherwise known as Kenny Crown. I'm a writer, host, speaker, liberation, and intentional lifestyle coach. And you are welcome to Monday Motivation. On this platform, we motivate, inspire you, liberating you from just living into intentional living. And just recently, we have added to our crown. Yes, your host has now become an author, Intentional Living. So please go on Amazon to purchase your copy. So go on Amazon, search Intentional Living by Kehinde Adegoke. And I can't wait to see how this book is going to impact you, and I hope to hear from you after reading the book. And if this is your first time on this platform, please like, subscribe, share, and follow us. And I know that as much as I have been a blessing to you, you have been a blessing to me, and we can also be a blessing to everyone. So what are we talking about today? So today we're looking at picture. There is so many picture in our mind. We have this, we have that. We want to become a doctor, we want to become a coach, we want to become a mentor, we want to become a counselor. We have a big picture. Or I can say that you have a big dream, but how do you picture it? Where do you see yourself in the midst of that picture? Or what are you doing to bring those pictures to reality? It is one thing to have a picture. It is another thing for the picture to look like what you have envisioned it. Have you ever taken a picture lately? For everyone who knows me, they know that I love pictures. But how are you sat down when you're taking a picture? Or what is your posture? What is your posture when you're about to take a picture? Do you decide to take your picture, frown in your face, and then you want the results to be you smiling? If you're talking about picture, there's some things that you need to put into consideration. There is positioning. How do you position yourself for the outcome of the picture that you want to see? So now you have that picture in your mind. Take, for instance, you want to be a coach. How are you positioning yourself to be a coach? What are those things that you will have to do to be a coach? So that is you positioning yourself to be what you've pictured yourself to become. Picture is good, but when those pictures don't come to reality, they lead to frustration, or they make you feel weary and unsatisfied. Take, for instance, you take yourself into a studio trying to take a picture. What happens? The photographer will tell you how to position yourself. That is, if you want them to tell you how to. However, some people will decide, no, I already know the position that I want, because they've already thought about it and they have a picture of how the outcome of the picture should look like. So now they position themselves correctly. You're taking a photograph and you're like, picture says a lot about what you are seeing. Now, before you begin to build on that particular thing that you're doing, you would have pictured it. Some will say that they daydream about it. Some will say that they've seen the picture maybe in visions or in dreams, or it's a passion, and they've already created the image of what they want to see in their mind. So now it is good to create that image. It is good to have that good intentions. It is good to have that great idea. It is good to be passionate, to think big about how the solution that you're ready to prefer will be able to solve so many problems. Now, how well do you position yourself to be that problem solver? How well are you sat down to get the outcome that you have dreamt about? Because you may have a picture of how you want to sit, but you might be sitting wrongly. And by the time you get the result of how you sat, then you begin to think it does not look like what I thought before I sat. I hope that makes sense. So it is also applicable to your purpose. It is also applicable to your place of assignment. It is also applicable to your business. The picture that you've seen, the visions that God has shown you. They've said dream, and then you've dreamt, and you've dreamt big. But how are you positioned for that? How well is your posture? Does your posture fit the vision that you've seen? Does your posture suit the reason at which you're doing what you are doing? Because if you do not position yourself correctly, you might not get the result that you've dreamt about. You might not achieve what you're thinking about. You might not be able to provide as much solution as you have dreamt about it. And another one is publicly proclaim it. How do you publicly proclaim it? Half the time, the reason why we're not able to achieve all that we've set ourselves to achieve is because we've not actually publicly proclaimed it. Because we've not said it out. Sometimes when you say things out, you confess it to manifestation. You confess it to life by saying, I am going to do this. I will achieve this. I am going to do this in the space of 1 year. I am going to do this in 1 week. I am going to do this in a month. This has been a test that has been proven that once you say it, it comes to pass. And if you are a person of faith, then you would agree with me that you can call things forth as though they are there, as though you can see it, as though you are living it, as though you are achieving it. And by that, as much as we rely on our faith and the grace to be able to do all that we want to do, we also put actions behind it, because we know that faith without work is useless. So now you have to, after positioning yourself for the picture, then you proclaim it. This is how the success is going to look like. This is the many lives that is going to affect. These are the people that are going to be a beneficiary of what I am doing. And then you have the process. There is a process to things. So in as much as you've dreamt about it, you've envisioned it, you've seen it, you've positioned yourself, you've proclaimed it, now then you go through the process. So what are the process of those things that you're about to do? So the process would be that the photograph that you've taken is going through a process. So now there is a work that needs to be done on it. So you've gone to the studio. Once you've taken that picture, then the photographer will then begin to work on the picture that you've given to them, on the posture at which they've taken the picture. So now there is a process for you to be able to achieve those things that you've said. It is not only by confessing and sitting down on it, but it is confessing and going to work. So once you've positioned yourself, you have a good posture of what you're thinking, of what you've envisioned. Then you begin to publicly proclaim it, to stamp and seal those things that you've said or those things that you've seen. But now you go through the process. So the process is the actions plans that will help you fulfill those things that you've called for. The steps that you need to carry out to be able to fulfill those things that you want to see. So take, for instance, your vision is to make sure that no one goes to bed hungry, or no children goes to bed hungry. Then there's a process to it. So you sit down and begin to map out where do I start from? Should I start from my community? Should I take it further? Or should I collaborate with people who are already in this industry? So those are the steps at which you're taking to achieve the vision or the picture that you have seen before. There is no result without an action. There is no action without a vision or a picture. So there is no way you would have a success without a vision. If you are making a plan to pass an exam, there is a reason why you want to pass the exam. The exam could probably qualify you to be a doctor, or the exam for people who are in faith is to take you to a higher ground. There is always a process to take to be able to achieve all, or to be able to achieve that picture that you have already envisioned, or for that picture that you already have in mind. But how intentional are you to bring those pictures to reality? How intentional are you to see the lives of those people you have been called to liberated? How intentional are you to be a blessing to your world? And that lies on you. It is not enough to have a picture, but you have to go through the process. And as much as you go through the process, you will review your process to be sure you're still on the right track, to be sure you're still affecting those lives positively, to be sure that you're not digressing from the reason at which you started before. So today, I have come to liberate you from just having a picture or from just having a dream to having a dream, positioning yourself for the dream, which is good posture, to proclaiming the dream and through walking the process of the dream and bringing the dream to manifestation. So I need you to know this. Your dream is important, and your dream is the solution to many problems out there. Do not keep dreaming. Do not stay dreaming, but start living the dream. Start bringing those pictures to reality. Start making those pictures that you've seen. It does not matter what it looks like. At first, when you're positioning yourself for that picture, it will not look like the picture that you've seen before because you've not taken the picture yet. So taking the picture is part of the process of bringing that picture to life. So stop sleeping on that dream. Stop sleeping on that picture. Stop sleeping on those visions, but rise today and begin to walk through the process of bringing those dreams and visions to life. So till I see you again next week, don't stop dreaming. Don't stop positioning yourself for it. Don't stop proclaiming it. Don't stop walking, and then you will see the result of your picture. Bye for now.